Just imagine how many followers and subscribers Michael Jackson would have if he was alive today. Think about the fact that even in his death, he has almost 40 million subscribers and billions, not millions, billions with a B, of views on his music videos. What is it about this artist that touches people deeply in their soul? Hey everybody, welcome to the Ultimate YouTube channel. It's your girl, Rosalie. This is so freaking powerful. Guess what time it is? Let's keep this short and simple, but I had to come on here. This went beyond being famous in your country or a specific demographic. This became a global thing. A superstar who was known and loved around the world, whose songs are still changing people's lives, whose songs still catch people's attentions. This is an artist unlike any other. And I want to talk to you today about why, even in death, he's making waves. Michael Jackson, ladies and gentlemen. I recently went to the drive-in movie theater. Yes, you heard that right. A drive-in movie theater. They still exist. And I was watching with a dear friend of mine to celebrate her birthday. We watched the Michael Jackson movie. And I went from excitement and joy to rediscovering a love for Michael Jackson's music to grief and sadness about the things he endured and learning a whole bunch of things I had no idea about. Like his love for animals and the fact he had animals like that in his backyard. The fact that he was called Big Nose by his father. The horrific abuse that he endured. I knew there was exploitation and abuse. I didn't recognize just how bad it was. The fact that there were so many things that played into why he changed his appearance the way that he was. That explained the way he spoke in interviews and where perhaps his mind stayed in a certain innocent childlike place due to trauma. Now living in a time and age where more and more is coming to light with the Epstein files and the exploitation and the disgusting things happening among the rich and the elite, shedding a different picture on the allegations that were placed on Michael Jackson years ago. And I never studied and still haven't studied all the evidence for or against. It's not a topic I studied in detail. But back when this news broke, I thought it was very possible that some of this was true. After all, it's Hollywood and there's so much junk happening. And little did I know just how bad a lot of it was. But now with more news coming to light, it's interesting to me how our perspective about a person, even in their death, can change. How we might go from thinking someone is really guilty to realizing, hold on, what if this person was the victim? What if things were twisted in a way to destroy this person and their reputation? Did all of this lead to his death? Did all of this pave the way to the destruction of Michael Jackson that we saw? Michael Jackson is to me a very important person, not only because he changed music history and because he affected generations, not only because he became renowned around the world and had one hit after the other, but just because there's something about his person that is pulling us in. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. What is it about Michael Jackson that you just can't shake? Let's listen to They Don't Care About Us.
Michael, eles não ligam pra gente.
I freaking love this song. Hey. Won't you black and white me? These lyrics are deep, guys. These are deep. Hey. This is a freaking anthem. Woo! I'm going to pause here. I got to go back. I got to pause for copyright reasons. You came for a commentary. Guys, there's so many things that I'm so fascinated by. I love the colors. I love how they're honoring the Brazilian country and nation here. I love all the shades of brown. It is such a powerful song to do this song, not only in Brazil, but also, I believe it was, where did they film this? Filmed it in Santo Paulo, Salvador and Santa Mara. Yes, favela in Rio de Janeiro. And I love the fact, it was primarily filmed there. I love the fact that all these beautiful people of all walks of life and shades of brown are coming together, because that's what we are. We are all, no matter how pale or how beautifully dark chocolate, we're all shades of brown if you look at a true brown color palette. And this is so fitting because it represents anyone who's oppressed. This is no longer black versus white or left versus right. This song is relevant as ever. It is we, the people. They don't care about us. Now, who are they, you might ask, right? Is it the 1%? Is it the elite? Is it the government? Whatever it may be. We live in a world where, while I'm not saying anarchy is the solution, we live in a world, sadly, where those who are in power will abuse that power. That goes for government, that goes for police, that goes for militia, that goes for militaries, anybody who is a formed group of people who starts leading or controlling or taking charge. That will happen. You will have abuse of power. And that is not to say that we don't need police or we don't need structure. I mean, look at us people. We have a really hard time regulating ourselves. But it does show that power is abused, and you have people of all walks of life coming together. Michael Jackson has done something so special here, because not only is he relatable to people because of the abuse that he endured and the self-hate that was pushed on him. That is relatable to so many people. So many of you I know can relate to that feeling, not only because you were abused, but also because you struggle with that internal voice of, I'm not good enough. I'm too big of this, too little of that. And Michael Jackson, to me, is this image, this example of, for one, what destruction can be caused by physical and verbal abuse. I was so pissed at Joe when I was watching the Michael Jackson biography movie. It invoked such an anger in me towards the abusers, towards the parents who are destroying little lives. It made me so hurt for Michael because of the way that these messages he received, that he internalized, a pressure and an exploitation at an early age he should never had endured. And yet there's this weird dichotomy in life where you could have so much suffering and yet so much beauty comes out of it. So much suffering that Michael endured. Like I said, the allegations that I don't know if they're true or not. At the time when a lot of this came out, I don't recall what I was thinking, but I'm pretty sure that I didn't necessarily assume they're all lies. It's possible. It's Hollywood. And it's very possible that some of this could be true, but I never researched it in depth. And now with everything that's come to light with the Epstein files, I feel like it's also very, very possible that he was the victim and that lies were construed and created to demonize him, to destroy him, perhaps because he was starting to speak up about what they were doing and what was really happening in that Hollywood world. There's so much we could pull from this, and so much, what about this? What about that? And this back and forth that we could be playing here. But I see this dichotomy of an artist who went through so much pain himself, who does not embody self-love and self-acceptance, but at the same time is encouraging other people to be kind, is at the same time trying to tell the world, hey, they don't care about us. We have to stick together. That's bringing people together, that has songs about peace, that has songs about love, that rebels against the system, that has the courage to use his platforms to call out the system, to bring people together. It's said that this song was an answer to the allegations made about him. So much beauty coming out of his music. And that's what I want to discover with you today. That's the question, my why question for today. Why is Michael Jackson still affecting us so deeply? Is it really just because he created awesome songs that are play, sing, and listen worthy for generations to come? Is it really that he's just an artist that is whose music is just that good? You just got to show it to your kids and your kids' kids, and you want to make sure that it never dies out. Is it really just that it was a hit? Or is there something about this human being that we can recognize in all of us? That rasp, I love the grit. I love his voice. There's nothing like it. Nothing like it. That was awesome. Listen. Come on, Michael. Come on. He wouldn't let this be. Oh, Michael, come on. Ooh. Woo. Hey, the drums, that just adds. That's the biggest thing. I love this moment. I'm going to go back. That guitar solo, it almost sounded like a gunshot. It was kind of scary. It's interesting because I'm listening with my headphones, and it's crazy to see just how music production, mixing, and mastering has changed over the years. And still, to have songs where there was no perfect auto-tune, there was no perfect syncing up between the clap and what was happening in the music video. It's still music production that was fitting to the area it was produced in, compared to today's auto-tune and computerization of everything. And yet it has such an impact. It's crazy. It shows you that it's not perfection that gets people. It's proof to me that it's not perfect auto-synchronicity and synthesizers and the perfect blend between bass and treble and the perfect syncing up of the clap with the actual clap in the music video. It's authenticity. It's the message of the music. That epic guitar solo, that is just, will go down in history as one of a kind. I mean, I think there's very few people on this planet that if they don't hear some of this, they'll know who this is. I also appreciate this footage because at first when she ran out into the crowd, nobody stopped her and he was dancing with her. And then another woman joins in. And to me, this feels like a very candid moment, like she wasn't necessarily planned to jump out and dance with him. But Michael, I think, has often done this where people will almost tackle him and he will hug them. He won't push them away. He won't just hide behind his security guards. It's the security guards that have to jump in and remove these women. But he just almost like goes with it at times. I feel like he had such a heart for people. And I think that was birthed from the wounds of not having someone who whose hearts were not for him. It breaks my heart to think, but maybe again, that dichotomy, a person whose father didn't have a heart for him, who the people he needed to protect him the most didn't. But he became this man that had heart for people, that became what he would have needed. And I think that's so powerful and one of the reasons why he's still so impactful to so many of us. I see here a very candid moment when the women come out and the security officers have to bring her back because he literally falls, and this feels very real. And it's fitting they left that in because to me the double entendre here is this is a straight up superstar. He's being ripped to the ground by his fans, but also very fitting to the lyrics. They don't care about us. We're being trampled to the ground. It's them against us. We're being ripped down and destroyed. Fitting that they left that in there. See how he's hugging her, dancing with her? Yep. Here. I freaking love this song. I'm here to remind you. These dance moves are freaking legendary. This is freaking legendary. Ah! Come on. It was epic. It's freaking epic. There's so many things here, guys. For one, I think this song is relevant than ever, and I want to use my platform and this song to remind you that it is we, the people, that we are more powerful and more impactful than we realize. And there is a system at hand, whatever forces they may be, that are trying to keep us polarized and trying to keep us thinking it's black versus right, right versus left, men versus women. Because when you have a nation divided against itself, it cannot stand. You can control a household that is torn. You can control a people that doesn't know who they are. That's why a lot of times children can be manipulated and played, because they're still learning who they are and who they want to be. That's why when people are divided and at odds, they can be controlled. I want to encourage you, and I want to use my platform to remind us that we must not fall prey to the distraction and to the polarization. It is we, the people, and they do not care about us, whoever they may be. We need to remember that for the most part, your neighbor, the people you are around, have more in common with you than not. They have more in common with you than you realize. And I think for us as a nation here in North America, be it in Europe, wherever you may be, I think there's something so powerful about being reminded and coming together as people and not letting these things that they try to feed us, especially now more than ever through social media and the news, that they feed us to keep us divided. I think there's something powerful about removing that and taking your power back and saying, no, you know what? No, wait a minute. It is we, the people. I also think this is so powerful because I see here this duality, a tragic duality to me, of a man who didn't accept himself, who changed his nose, who changed his entire appearance. And I know there were theories about skin pigmentations, and that's why, and lightening and whatnot. But then I know that there's theories that say, no, there was no skin disorder. It was him lightening his skin. You see pictures and videos of him as a little boy, beautifully melanated little brother. And it leaves me grieving for the lack of self-love and self-acceptance. And yet he's teaching other people to love one another. Yet he's teaching peace. The way he was skipping around next to that little boy in the movie, and I brace yourself if this is a spoiler alert, or skip this part if you haven't seen it yet and you don't want me to spoil anything for you. But in the movie, when he's starting to record as a little boy, as for part of the Jackson 5, and everyone discovers just how amazing of a singer he is, he uses his feet a lot. He dances all the time. And he's constantly told, stop moving so much, get closer to the mic, calm down. And I love that in his solo career, as he got older, using his feet, dancing became such a statement. His legendary dances, his moonwalking, I mean, that's his brand. Not only his amazing voice and his anthems and his hits and the music production of these music videos, I keep trying to say movies, as you can see, but also his dance moves. That's Michael Jackson. What people have tried to impersonate generation after generation since. But here you have him skipping around, nobody telling him to stop dancing, right next to that little boy who reminds me of him when he was little. And it's this beautiful picture of, even if you couldn't do that for yourself when you were young, you're now doing it freely because you get to choose now as an adult, and you're doing it for the next generation. You're allowing that little young boy, Michael Jackson is in this case, that little young boy on his drum, you're allowing him just to jump around. You're jumping with him. You're dancing with him, and you're giving him the freedom you were never given. And it's this beautiful silver lining and hope in a story of so much pain, that when we grow up, as we get older, that we do have the power to decide what we're going to believe, who we're going to follow, which voices we're going to listen to, but also that we can empower other people, young and old, to be free to dance, to skip those feet, to move those feet, to dance, to move freely, to scream. Even these screams that are so rock and roll legendary, and Michael, there's something cathartic about it. That scream, that release of freedom of saying, this is who I am. This is my anthem. The musical composition of this arrangement is powerful because that constant hook that we come back to. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. That's timeless. The second anyone sings that, we go, oh, I know that. That's Michael Jackson. But it's also a very fitting melody because of its memorable hook. That's what makes it an anthem. This is beyond a catchy song that gets stuck in your ear, an Ohrwurm, we called it in Germany. It's not just this earworm of a song that gets stuck in your head and you can't scratch. It's an anthem, and it's relevant now more than ever. But now it's your turn. So, as we've listened to this and as you've been hearing me talk, what do you think? Why is Michael Jackson still so impactful, even in his death? What is it about him? For me, comment. Let me know in the comments. Like, comment, let's go. And subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. For me, I think that there's something about his humanity, that you have a young boy who has endured suffering, which many people do, who has grown up to have a huge platform, which many people wish they did. This superstar, world star, who lives a exciting, successful, but also tragic life. And it's this interwoven image, like I said earlier, of lack of self-love and a message of love, of pain and spreading hope, of pioneering in the music industry, music videos that were one of a kind. I mean, just think of Thriller. And bringing us one, not only hit after the other, but winning album after the other, songs that have shaken music history, mixing rock and roll with R&B and pop, bringing people together, black and white. Initially, I had found out, and I didn't know this, that the original lyrics had controversial statements in them where he says, Jew me, sue me, everybody do me, kick me, kike me, don't you black or white me. And it was changed because it was considered offensive, and instead changed to do me and strike me. Jackson stated the song was intended to highlight the pain of prejudice and social injustice, arguing he was portraying himself as a victim of abuse, not attacking any group. What's interesting to me, too, is that he lists all these people groups, skinhead, deadhead, Jew, black men, white men. And I think it's so interesting here that he's using all kinds of people groups on various ends of the spectrum. And by doing so, addressing social injustice as a very wide term. I love how in the beginning of the video, he has his finger up in the face of the police officer, very fitting to this idea of a song that speaks against police brutality and social injustice. I think what is so unique about him, is that everything that he endured, he still was making music that was changing people's lives to this day. What are your thoughts on this, you guys? How does this make you feel? What are some other big Michael Jackson hits that you want me to check out? Make sure to subscribe, and I will see you on the next ride. Ayo!